As we hope to learn more about what caused Monday's crash, we're joined by John Graddick, an aviation expert with McGill University. John, thank you so much for being with us here today. I want to start here. By all means, this appeared to be a routine plane landing. It ended with the plane on its back, wheels up. As an expert, what questions are you asking, and how are the investigators going to be finding answers?
Well, when you look at the actual final position of the aircraft alongside the runway, on its roof and one wing missing, you're saying to yourself, how can anybody walk away from this aircraft crash and live to talk about it? And it's a miracle that all 80 people on board that aircraft were evacuated, thanks to the flight attendants and to the flight crew for helping in getting those people off the airplane. But going back to the landing procedures on that airplane, you look at the video of the aircraft coming in. It looked normal. It looked like it was basically under control. There was no untoward movement of the airplane. When the wheels touched the runway, for some reason, the back of the airplane started to drag along the runway, and sparks were coming out of the airplane, and the wing hit the side of the runway, ripped off the airplane, and then the airplane slid along the runway and then rolled over and landed on its roof. So there's a lot of questions being asked about the conditions of the runway, the wind conditions on the runway, the mechanical state of the airplane. All of those things are things that are going to be looked at by the Transportation Safety Board that's currently on site. They're going to be looking at interviews with the pilots, with the flight attendants, with passengers, with air traffic control, looking at the black boxes and coming to their preliminary conclusions.
So much credit. As you're speaking, we were seeing the videos of people being evacuated off that flight here. So much credit has gone to not only emergency officials, but the Delta crew members who were rushing people off that flight, telling them, leave your belongings and just get off here. How precious were those moments when you're seeing just the flames and the condition of that plane?
Yeah, you've got seconds to get those people off the airplane. I think that, typically when you look at training that's being done by the flight attendants on these airplanes, you've got people that, you've got to look at probably about between 60 and 120 seconds to get everybody off the airplane. The airplane was on fire. There was smoke. There was fire on the right hand side of the airplane. That's why the exit doors are only used on the left hand side of the airplane. And the fire crews, rushed to the airplane and extinguished the fire as best as they could, as quickly as they could. So there was no explosion and no further damage to the airplane. But that airplane is a write-off, as you can tell. The crews, the flight crew, and the passenger and the flight attendants did a great job of getting people out. I think that I still saw people coming off that airplane with backpacks and with carry-on bags, which I'm not sure that would be standard operating procedure to come off the airplane, to come off with your bags. But the flight attendants did a great job of getting people off that airplane.
Yeah, as a traveler, someone who's taken flights, it really puts into perspective the safety measures in place during these times, where there's a reason they say leave everything behind, get out as soon as possible, and also wearing your seatbelt at landing when there are folks who are standing up or unbuckling, ready to just rush off the plane. In this case, again, just remarkable that no one was killed here. John, let me ask you this. We just had a plane crash over the Potomac in Washington, D.C. That was a passenger flight. This is another passenger plane that was involved in a crash, a landing at Pearson Airport. From your perspective, have you seen anything like this before with this recent incident?
No, I think that but the Potomac crash was really an in-flight incident where we had both the Black Hawk helicopter and the aircraft collided. This one we had in Toronto yesterday was totally different. It was a landing, clear, no obstruction, no nothing on landing. The aircraft did have an incident on touchdown, which we're going to be investigated. So there's no really any correlation between what happened in that Potomac and what happened in Toronto. They're very, very distinct, very, very separate incidents.
Yeah, I just wanted to make the point that this is rare.
Yeah, I think yeah, it is. When you're looking at, the way in which these airplanes are manufactured and they're operating, flight is still the safest mode of transportation. So there shouldn't be any concern about getting on an airplane and flying. These incidents, yeah, they showed up, pretty close together, but it's really a statistical aberration. It's really the law of averages that we have these incidents happen. We've had like 17 years since the Spoken crash in the U.S. Same number of years between the Air France crash in Toronto and this one. So there's been a long period of no crashes, and I think that the law of averages is catching up to us.
Okay. John Graddick, as always, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Have a great day. Thank you.